Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Just, and that right there is what any parent is feeling right now. You're not going to let go of your child this morning there, whoever you are.
Yeah.
Another school year, another school shooting. This time in Minneapolis. This kid right here, okay, this kid is the alleged shooter. His name is Robin Westman. You people love to talk about black fatigue and all sorts of fatigue. I'm also starting to have a different kind of fatigue, okay? School fatigue. Because every time there's a school, it's always one of y'all kids. So what exactly are y'all people doing to these kids at home that they don't feel comfortable to talk to you about things happening to them at school? What exactly are y'all people doing to these kids? And why are you people so irresponsible with your pew-pews? You want to exert your right to carry? Cool, no problem. At the very least, be responsible of your pew-pews, man.
Another day in America, another white man a bunch of children for no fucking reason. And yet another situation where literally nothing is going to change.
At what point do people start taking this seriously? Because we're not even a week into school coming back into session, and there's all.
And I know today's episode is but hey, it is what it is. This is that is America. Anyway, welcome back. How are y'all doing? Especially those of you that are watching me from the States, those of you that are watching me from Minneapolis, and those of you that are affected by the shooting. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Find courage, and hopefully these people wake up and know enough is enough. We have this episode today, which I am not even going to talk about so much because there's a lot of people that are saying enough is enough. People are having palm-colored fatigue because most of the mass school happens at the hands of... We are not here to point fingers, but I think this needs to be talked about. But let's look at some of the reactions about this. We'll come back and talk about it. Just do me a favor, like the video, share it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll be back.
Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Just, and that right there is what any parent is feeling right now. You're not going to let go of your child this morning there, whoever you are.
Yeah.
Another school year, another school shooting. This time in Minneapolis. This kid right here, okay, this kid is the alleged shooter. His name is Robin Westman. Robin Westman opened fire at a Catholic school while other kids were praying, literally. 2 kids have passed and 17 are injured. My thoughts and prayers to the family of the deceased and a speedy recovery to the 17 kids who are injured. That being said, you people love to talk about black fatigue and all sorts of fatigue. I'm also starting to have a different kind of fatigue, okay? School fatigue. I'm starting to have school shoot fatigue because every time there's a school shoot, it's always one of y'all kids. So what exactly are y'all people doing to these kids at home that they don't feel comfortable to talk to you about things happening to them at school? What exactly are y'all people doing to these kids? And why are you people so irresponsible with your pew-pews? You want to exert your right to carry? Cool, no problem. At the very least, be responsible of your pew-pews, man. First week of school. First week. This is not normal. This is not normal. We all got kids out here, okay? We got nieces, we got nephews. We don't want to live in the fear that our kids going to school might not come back because one of y'all kids thought it was funny to go play Call of Duty in real life.
How many more kids need to die in school shootings before this country gives a shit about reforming its gun control and mental health? My heart is breaking and goes out to anybody affected by the shooting that happened in South Minneapolis at Annunciation Catholic School. I've spent much of this morning trying to process how I live in a country that cares more about banning books, what bathrooms people use, what color a border wall should be painted over keeping children safe. And I got nothing. I cannot comprehend. They just started school on Monday. It's the first week. There's absolutely no reason that an 8 and a 10-year-old are dead after being shot in a pew while praying during mass. I just watched an interview with one of the kids. He's 10 years old and his friend laid on top of him and ended up getting shot and is currently in surgery. No child should ever experience that. I don't really have anything else to say other than shit needs to drastically change in this country.
Another day in America, another white man shooting a bunch of children for no reason. And yet another situation where literally nothing is going to change. Nothing's going to happen. There will be no consequences. No laws will change. Nothing will change. This will just happen again tomorrow. Maybe they'll talk about the men's mental health crisis for a few days. Yeah, that's going to be what's going to happen. Honestly, I don't want to hear about it anymore until we decide to change something. I don't want to continue to listen to these stories if the people in charge are just going to let us keep fucking. This whole country should be ashamed of itself. America is a shameful game place. It's cruel. It's disturbing. America right now is like a dirty toilet full of the worst human characteristics imaginable, with almost zero redeeming qualities. If there was a portal to open in front of me, I would step through it right now and give up here. Honestly, I don't even care. Any other dimension is fine. I don't want to watch this anymore. You can't make people change. You can't. They have to decide. And as a country, apparently, we have not decided to make any changes. And I personally cannot imagine what is our rock bottom going to even look like at this point. I hope we're getting close, but I don't know. Y'all continue to surprise.
The shooter is not a drag queen, not an immigrant, not a member of Antifa. Another far-right, white nationalist.
So another coward has committed another mass shooting in Minnesota. Trump's so worried about crimes in poor neighborhoods, but he is doing nothing to stop these school shootings. All they have to offer after all these madness is thoughts and prayers. That's all the Republicans have to tell the families, is that they have their thoughts and prayers. And this guy snuck up on side of the church with 3 weapons. And y'all know the one they use all the time. It's literally shooting through the window while these kids are worshiping. 2 kids died, 8 and 10 years old. 17 people injured. 14 are kids. This is normal, y'all. This like it's happening every day. But nobody is addressing this problem. I don't even know that they haven't shown a suspect. But I'm 98.9% sure who the suspect is. I basically know what age range and what color race he is. I know that for sure without even getting any details. But the Republicans don't want to take away they want to just give thoughts and prayers. And I am tired of our kids going into these places where they're not even safe because some maniac is doing this bullshit. And I don't want to hear from you MAGAs because y'all so worried about what's going on in black communities that y'all own people is out here committing these madness. Y'all know the profile, y'all know the racial profile of who they are. They not saying nothing. They not trying to do nothing to stop this mess. And all they have to offer is thoughts and prayers. If y'all really want to change with this situation, y'all will really stop electing Republican figures because they are in the bed with the NRA. They are with the NRA, the people who make these goddamn weapons. They're not going to do nothing to get them off the streets, to get them out their hands, as long as they can keep their pockets fat. They only going to offer us thoughts and prayers. And I am so tired of seeing our kids being attacked at school, at church, anywhere where a maniac decide to do something bad. My heart goes out to the people who lost their lives, the kids, or the parents, and the people who are injured. I'm praying you get better. But this ain't gonna change, y'all. It ain't gonna change because the Republican Party is embedded with the NRA, and that's that simple. But they worried about in crime in black communities, and they ain't doing a goddamn thing about their own, who causing all these mashes.
This message is for President Trump, Gavin Newsom, Jasmine Crockett, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Mom Donnie, and all you other politicians sitting in D.C. fighting amongst yourselves. I just said this not too long ago, and what I tell you, here we go again. Another headline, another body count, 2 kids, 8 and 10, 17 wounded at a church, at mass. And the coward responsible took his own life because, of course he did. That's what these twisted, spineless animals always do. They fucking it and then run from accountability by eating a bullet. And you know what? Spare me that thoughts and prayers. Shove that empty ass phrase right in the back of your throat. Because we've been saying that decades, and kids are still being murdered. Families are still shattered. Communities are still bleeding. Nothing changes because no one wants to actually do anything. Here's a fact. Weapons prohibited signs don't stop. A sticker on the door doesn't protect kids from cowards. You know what does though? Actual protection. We got the government out here fighting amongst themselves like toddlers at recess, hiring thousands of agents, spending billions, securing borders half a world away. But when it comes to our own kids, the most vulnerable among us, we send them to school with nothing but a free zone sign and a prayer. How about we start hiring agents, trained officers, security personnel, whose only job is guarding our children in schools, in churches, in places that we know they're being targeted. It's not complicated. We purposely target our children. You're not broken. You're not misunderstood. You're evil. You are human garbage and the lowest form of cowardice that exists. And the rest of us, left burying our kids, worrying about our kids, crying at vigils, and waiting for the next headline like it's inevitable. Well, it's not inevitable. Let's just tolerate it. And the second we stop tolerating it, the second we stop normalizing it, the second we put as much priority into protecting our children as we do into protecting politicians, banks, borders, then we'll see change. Stop pretending like it's just the way it is. Because every single time we accept this as the cost of living in America, we're just telling the next coward that it's open season on our kids. Enough is enough.
Year ain't even been underway for a full 90 days, and we already have our first, and I hate even saying that, but we have the first mashing of the school year in Minneapolis. And this is something that I grapple with because as much as I believe in God and I do have faith, I hate when people say, oh, we just got to pray more. No, that's lazy and that's stupid. What needs to happen is we need more legislation, some more policy that prohibits this from happening, that makes it less easy to be able to obtain firearms and go in and shoot up a church or a school or a movie theater or a nightclub. I feel like people don't care unless it's their children. And as a mom, I don't care just about mine. I care about all of them. And I feel like people are like, we just need to pray more. So when I pray, as I often do, for all the kids in the world, specifically in America, to be safe from all hurt, harm, and danger, and I pray against and for no mass shootings. So did God not hear my prayer? Do God not hear all the thousands and millions of other people who pray for the same thing? Tell me what's going on. I think God kind of like, I'm hearing all millions of y'all asking for safety, but I'm not seeing y'all do. Faith without works is what? Come on, somebody. Dead. Prayers is not working. What's it going to take for one to happen every day? For somebody who is of higher importance, child, to be in the midst of one or to be a casualty of one? Like, what is it going to take? I'm so sick of this.
I'm trying to find the words because this is going to piss a lot of people off. And the people that this pisses off, I actually don't care about. But what I care about is the conversation that I think needs to be happening right now in this country and has needed to happen for a very long time. What I don't understand is, as someone who is liberal, when I talk about a mass and kids being unalived, all right, on their third day of school, and I talk about how lawmakers won't protect children before they pretend. Here is what I did not even mention in that statement, and therefore is not the topic at hand. What I did not say was that mental health in this country wasn't an issue. But I want you to think about this, because if guns were not as accessible, and I'm not talking about just a hand, I am talking about assault rifles. If someone didn't have laissez-faire access to an assault rifle, what are they going after people with? A pencil? You can throw something at them. But we are talking about assault rifles that are easily accessible. That's it. That is the conversation. The conversation that I did not open it up to was about mental health. So what I really need conservatives to stop doing is stop having a what about argument. Two things can be true at once. We could need to tackle a gun issue in America and tackle a mental health issue in America. But the fact of the matter in this situation in Minneapolis today is somebody was able to enter a school with an assault rifle, and actually not just an assault rifle, 3 different weapons. They were able to enter a school and open fire on innocent lives. That is the argument we are having. We are not having an argument about mental health. So please do me a favor and get the f out of my comments about mental health being the issue and not guns. If that is your logic, you are the mother problem, period.
The man passed the assault weapons ban. Did he not deserve a little head? In 1994, Bill Clinton passed the assault weapons ban. When he did that, mass pum-puming unalivings dropped by 43%. That's great. That's beautiful. That ban came with a sunset clause. That means that the ban was only real for 10 years, and then Congress would have to vote on extending the law. September 2004, the law is getting ready to expire. Our then president, Bush, the son, not the dad, said that he would support the assault weapons ban if Congress passed it, right? But then he put no pressure on the Republican majority Congress to actually make sure that the ban didn't expire. After the Republican Congress let the ban expire in 2004, the death rate shot up by 239%. Today, a man armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol shot up a Catholic school while them babies was at mass.
Sending your kids to school in America is one of the scariest things you can do. A Catholic school / church where kids are literally praying. That is where that mass decides to come and start shit up. 2 kids literally got unalived, y'all. When are the rules and regulations and the laws gonna be tighter for this kind of shit? It's no reason a grown man carrying a, or whatever the case, is able to get around. Like, how did nobody see him? That's one. Number 2, nobody should be able to come that close to school grounds where there's mad fucking innocent children. And apparently one of the kids, y'all, they can't be older than like 13, 14, 15. One of them literally got on top of their friend so they don't get hurt. Like, what does a child need to do that? Like, living in New York City myself, we really don't be having this shit because we have security. I remember when I was in high school, we had security because we had metal detectors. Even if that shit sounds like it's too much, it's worth it. And then he has the audacity to unalive himself. Like, he didn't even suffer for whatever the fuck he just did. He took the easy way out, and that's not fair at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's no reason grown fucking adults are able to come that close around to a school with his mad kids, innocent fucking kids. Like, I literally started tearing up because this is like, it's getting to a point where your kids is not safe anywhere. They're not safe in the parks. They're not safe in school. So what? They're gonna stay home all day 24/7. When is there gonna be a fucking end? There needs to be a fucking change. Like, bro, like, And I see a lot of comments talking about, oh, now y'all see how the Palestinian families feel. That's 100%. That's 100%. Just that thought in the back of your head that, oh yeah, my child is injured. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Like, you can't send your kids nowhere in America.
So I've had to remake this video because I don't want to get... Let's talk about something here. Ages 8 and 10. MAGA, when is it going to dawn on you that they are willing to sacrifice children? When is it going to dawn on you that you are a part of the 92%? No matter what flag your grandpa held up, no matter what your dad may have told you, or your mom, or your grandma, or your aunt, or your auntie, or your best friend, no matter what they tell you, this is the reality of 2025. That the propaganda of sacrificing children to make people upset and say, yes, we do need military in the cities. How about this? Crime's gonna happen no matter what. Crime would be better if mental health services were better. If control was better. If the overall cost of living was better. But more than anything, why don't we implement military in schools? Instead of having hundreds of thousands of troops to navigate cities, how about we put them in our schools first? These are innocent 8 and 10. They're never going to see their next birthday. But you're going to skip through this video. You know why you're going to skip? For 2 reasons. Either you don't give a fuck and you're in a cult, or number 2, you're going to ignore it and continue about your day. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go back to you're going to leave your slave job. You're going to go back to your kids that probably don't like you, not going to talk to you in 10 years. And then you're going to go home, you're going to cook that same bullshit for your husband that's probably cheating. Or the husband that is there, you're probably cheating. And you're going to live that same bull cycle. That's all you're going to do. Until, what you guys don't understand, a year from now, 4 years from now, or 10 years from now, when we can't vote, it's going to be too late. And that goes for beyond MAGA. That goes for us. The time is now. We can no longer be quiet. We can no longer be silent. We can no longer continue to rat race. Either we are going to sacrifice for our children or they're going to sacrifice our children. Period. There's no in between. Either we're going to make the sacrifice or they're going to sacrifice our children. Those are the only two goddamn options.
I think it is times like this when some of these messages are supposed to be put out here and let people know that enough is enough. Mr. Man, Mr. Rotten Hand, actually removed taxes on Pewpew silencers. I'm not a mother yet, and I know I will be one in the future. Praise the Lord. Uganda is not a country where you have to worry about, someone came and what? That's not a problem. Not just with schools. Everywhere. Okay? If that happens, my God, chances are like in 100%. If you were to give it a percentage, that's like 0.9%. But he is dealing with, he wants felonies out, immigrants out. The people that are doing these things are not immigrants. The people that are doing these things are not black and brown people. The people that are doing these things are not people that have been convicted. Most of them, it is even their very first time to have a record. If they even have it, because at the end of the day, when they are done with what they wanted to do, they take themselves out. So why put so much emphasis on things that do not matter and have your people literally in fear? When you are done with the immigrants and everybody else, will you have a country? I heard that they are going, like they have classified it as a domestic terrorist attack. Amazing, but who is going to be condemned? A lot of these people are homebred. The so-called homegrowns are these real people that are doing these things. I can only imagine being a parent in the United States of America and how literally when you send your child to school, you're not settled. Like, you're not at peace because you don't know what is going to happen in between just these hours of them being at school. The real fatigue should be in these people. Of course, a lot of people are saying it's just an individual and all of that, but when we look at statistics shows us that there's something wrong with the palm-colored race. They talk about black on black crime. Why don't they tackle the mass Pewpews by their people? They want to make sure everyone is proper. What are they doing to proper their people? My message to the palm-colored mothers and fathers, like one of the brothers said, what is going on in those families for those kids to be traumatized to that level that the only solution they can have is grabbing something and make sure they end themselves and also end others? What is happening? Because this is manifesting in this community more than any other community. There is definitely something wrong in these communities. Either the families encourage this, these things start from here. Either the families encourage this, or if they do not encourage it, they really don't care so much to know what is going on with their kids. And this is something that needs to be, like, you guys need to find medicine for this, because at this point, it's not anybody else destroying your country. You guys are. It's not the immigrants that are making your country unsafe. Your people are. And the high time you guys know that this is an issue that actually needs to be given like extra attention. Everything else can wait, because you all have kids. And the Republican Party is actually encouraging people to have kids, right? These are the kids that you're going to bring into this world, and this is what they are going to be going through. Also, why is it that mental health in the alphabet community does not get talked about that much? I'm not here to attack this community, but these people have issues. Okay, we are talking about an individual, but these people have issues. Most of these people abuse drugs. Most of these people drink alcohol excessively. Most of these people are disturbed. Maybe nobody's going to talk about it, or maybe I may even get attacked for saying something about it, because, you know. But I mean, if you care for the well-being of these people, of this community, don't you think it's high time this gets tackled and talked about? And you know where else? They don't get that much time to talk about their issues, because mental health is a real thing. Instead of capturing homeless people and forcing them into mental institutions, people that are mentally okay, right? Why don't you look for these people? Because I remember, actually, even mental health, whatever, like services that were meant for the veterans, the funds were cut too. But again, it starts from the family, you people. It starts from the family. For a child or for a grown-up human being to go and pick up something and go and they do something, that thought was fed, nurtured, fed nicely. Scriptures say that sin is birthed and it grows. Yeah, it grows until when it bursts out. This is birthed, nurtured, and grows until when it is supposed now to, be activated. And these things, again, majority of these things are happening from people that have never had any record, criminal record, and they're happening from majority palm-colored people. And I think the palm-colored community, I'm not here to point fingers at you. No community is perfect. Crime is everywhere. A lot of people commit stuff. But when it comes to homicides and mass whatevers, and targeting of innocent people, and again, this is part of, I don't know if whatever is tied to this community, because majority of the time when they do this, they want to make sure if they are going through something, they don't go down alone. That is selfish. You guys need your kids in therapy. You need to create an environment where your kids or your relatives can talk about stuff. Otherwise, I don't think this is going to end well for America. And unfortunately, again, it's not going to be at the hands of, immigrants. It's going to be at the hands of your own people. The gun laws that are supposed to be regulated, kids are not supposed to even be accessing, not even like for real, over here for you. How are you for you to have a Pewpew? Even if you just quote. And plus, people don't even the thought of that cringes me or cringes people. But this looks like a normal occurrence in the US. And this should not be normal. It should not be normal. It should not be normalized at all. And again, the gun laws and everything needs to be more stricter. There's no need for people that have mental issues to even have access to those. Those are some of the things that need to be dealt with. But, and again, even under the Democratic, whatever, the Democrats, whatever, yes, these things were there. But I think your Congress people need to do better. Otherwise, a lot of people will rather move out of the country because it's not safe for kids. And a lot of people are saying that it's not safe to raise kids in America. Let me know what you think in the comment section. From me for today, that's it. I do love all of you, and I'll see you in another amazing video. Until then, stay safe and